when you were growing up as a child, what was the data that was going into the LLM called Shankar Mahadevan?
The minute I saw the white keys and the black keys of the keyboard, which was the harmonium, I immediately understood the connection between a melody, decoding a melody to its binary equivalent, which are sargams. I did not know where it came from, but that's how it started.
Our next wonderful, absolutely exciting speaker is going to take 5 more minutes because we're doing a tech check, because this is going to be a conversation as well as a musical journey, and we're going to be reassured about why humans still reign supreme, because when you hear music like that, then all is well in the world. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Shankar Mahadevan. Shankar, thank you so much for being here. We've been chasing Shankar for 3 years, so that's how long it's taken for him to be free enough to come.
Shoma, don't make me feel difficult to get or anything like that. It just didn't happen. It had to happen today. Yeah.
Yes. Thank you, Shankar. Shankar, all morning we've been discussing this whole play between technology and humans. So I don't want to immediately get into the AI conversation. What I want to, this movie that we showed was a sense of what music means to all of us. And so I want to know about you, that your body as a studio, when you were growing up as a child, what was the data that was going into the LLM called Shankar Mahadevan? What is the sounds? What are the influences? Do talk to us a little about that.
Well, firstly, I'm very happy to be here, finally. And normally conferences like this, we artists, we just come and we just perform here. We just perform and we go. So making an artist talk is the most difficult thing for us. We get nervous. Singing, कोई problem नहीं है. So anyway, but आज तो बात करना ही है. So I'm very happy to be here and talking about my musical influences. Well, I was 3.5 years old when I went to my uncle's house in Coimbatore, and I saw this instrument for the first time. It was lying in a room over there. Nobody was there in the room, and I was very inquisitive what that instrument is. I had never ever seen those white and black keys, and it was a harmonium. And my uncle, he just came and he started playing the bellows because I was too tiny to, reach out to the bellows, and I started playing a song immediately. So it was a pretty, surprising reaction from all my relatives, and they were wondering what's happening. Then they started testing me with melodic content, like ta-ra-ra. Then I used to play ta-ra-ra immediately. Ta-ra-ra-ra-ra, ta-ra-ra-ra-ra. I used to. So basically what happened was, to cut a long story short, the minute I saw the white keys and the black keys of the keyboard, which was the harmonium, I immediately understood the connection between a melody, decoding a melody to its binary equivalent, which are sargams. If you see a computer program, any program can be decoded to its binary, zeros and ones. In music, there are 7 binaries, sa, re, ga, ma, pa, dha, ni. So you give me any melody, immediately it gets decoded. We have Saumil Sringarpuri on the keyboard over there. Let's have a loud round of applause. He's a fabulous musician. थोड़ा और जान से आप लोग ताली बजाएंगे तो, we'll also feel good here. So you play any melody and let me just say, this is a root. Ga, ma, pa, sa, ni, re, pa, da, da, ba, ma, ma, za, re, re, ga, re, re, sa. So this is happening on the spot now. So I did not know what he's going to play. He just played some notes. Immediately I decoded it into the sargam and I presented it to you. So this happened. So this is the basic essence of, I think, music foundation, as you can say. I did not know where it came from, but that's how it started.
It's amazing that you said you did not know where it came from, because, and then by the time you were 5, you were playing the veena, you know, which is also, it was from harmonium to veena to then many languages. But when you say you don't know where it came from, it's fascinating, because we've been talking about this training and data sets in machines, but this sudden inspiration, you were very close, of course, to Zakir Hussain, and through Shakti with all of the others. Both A.R. Rahman and Zakir talk about almost streaming something from somewhere else, you know. Have you ever felt that?
I really feel that if I start feeling that, oh my God, I am the one who's doing everything, it's quite crazy, you know, because I'm not. You know that you're not in control. There are so many moments on stage, you know, you reach the background score is from...
Do we need a background score for our conversation?
Is it playing the Bajuka all over? Ah, okay. Anyway, he was getting serious. What was I saying?
I asked you about whether you've also felt that you stream
on
it.
On stage, there are so many moments, ladies and gentlemen, that you're performing and you reach one particular, you know, one particular spot, and you know that you're not there. You're not there anymore. And you've just taken off, and then when you listen to the recording later, you sometimes wonder, oh my God, did I do that on stage? You know? So it's a kind of meditation, it's a kind of level you reach, which is not in your control. And I really feel that music, I mean, some people are blessed with sports, some people are blessed with numbers, some people are blessed with, you know, just the gift of the gap. They can just talk, you know, they can write, like my dear friends, Javed ji, Gulzar Saab, Prasan Joshi, you just give them anything and they'll just write a beautiful poem. This is, you can't say where it comes from, you know. Similarly, some people, they have the connection with music, I think, and that is a blessing. And being a musician, I think is the greatest blessing, yeah, because, you know, you enjoy every minute, you give a lot of joy to the listener, and you make money.
Make money, yes. You know, you mentioned being in the flow, Shankar. I would be very wrong if I did not ask you to just sing something for us.
That's the easiest part.
Is the easiest. Okay, sing, but where you almost like sing Dil Phad Ke, where maybe you enter the flow right now.
Dil Phad Ke ke alawa dusra kuch aata hi nahi hai. When you sing, you have to do Dil Phad Ke only. Otherwise, it doesn't. You know, today in the audience, we have one gentleman. His name is Nikhil Advani. Kahan hai Nikhil? Tu khada ho jaa yaar. Let people see you. Okay, you know Nikhil Advani. So now, this is a perfect example of, you know, you said streaming from above. Nikhil directed a film called Kal Ho Na Ho. Have you all seen Kal Ho Na Ho? I'm sure you'll have seen Kal Ho. So that song is a very special song for us, you know. And I think the song is not about musicality. The song is not about some great innovative raga or some, you know, in-depth, oh, look at this phrase, this harkat or this chord change that we have done. It's not about that. It's not about some great poetry which has got so much in-depth meaning that you have to listen to it 3-4 times to understand what it is, you know. It's so simple. It's about simplicity. But this is an example of a song which goes beyond the parameters of music. It goes beyond the parameters of melody. It goes beyond the parameters of lyrics, which we humans, we define, you know. There is something that touches you. So I'd request Somil to just play the melody, and I'll tell you how this song came. We were sitting in this bakery called German Bakery in Pune. We were having breakfast at 7:30 in the morning, and our music setup was already there in this Blue Diamond Hotel in Pune. You know, we had gone there to jam on the music of Kal Ho Na Ho. Loy was just taking a bite of his brun maska, and then he said, "Hey man, I'm getting this melody, you know. Let's quickly go back to the room and let's put it down." And this was the melody he played. This line Ehsan wrote. The last line I wrote. And then Javed ji came in. He listened to the melody and he said, "This melody is scary for me." You know, you remember he said, "I'm scared. I don't want to write this song now because it is so honest. It's very difficult to compose an honest melody, you know. So all the time you want to show off your musicality. This is a very honest melody. He said, give me some time. He took 25 days to write the song. We composed it in 10 minutes. Because the correct simplicity and the honesty of the melody needed to be replicated in the lyrics. Then finally he came up with, हर घड़ी बदल रही है रूप जिंदगी, छाँव है कभी कभी है धूप जिंदगी, हर पल यहाँ जी भर जियो, जो है समा कल हो न हो, पलकों के लेके साए, पास कोई तो आए, लाख संभालो पागल दिल को, दिल धड़के ही जाए, पर सोच लो इस पल है जो ये दास्तां कल हो ना हो. It's all because of this man here.
You know, it still makes your your eyes prickle, and you want to cry just by hearing it. So it's beautiful, Shankar. So there again, I wanted to ask you that, this discussion about machines and music and humans in music, your guru was T.R. Balamani, and you say that every time you play as a kind of homage to her. One, what did you learn from her? But two, now when AI can also learn from T.R. Balamani, what do you think then will still distinguish you as her student and AI as her student?
I think I have worked with AI very closely. In fact, Google just came down, the entire team of Google came down, and they made a film on me, and Saumil and me, we used the whole Google, artificial intelligence platform called Sandbox, and we created a lot of stuff. We worked on it. It's great. It's absolutely, and let's come to the conclusion. AI is here to stay forever. That's definitely there. That goes without saying. But there are some things that you can't, like this kind of emotion that we just now exchanged 5 minutes back. The feeling that everybody must have felt different over here. Some of you all connected to your nostalgic memory. Some of you all, remembered some loved one. Some of you all really felt that, oh, this is the moment that I have to cherish. These kind of emotions that you can't, that can happen only through the non-artificial intelligence, situation, I can say. This is very human, and you can't replicate that. So emotions is one thing, and the whole feeling of the love between the guru and the shishya. I was the one who was to be scolded most in the class because I used to come late. I used to not learn my, things properly, and she used to say, this guy, when others can learn, why can't you learn? But usme pyar tha. The way she used to scold me, there was intense love because I know that, and I was very confident because I knew that I was her favorite student. How do you replicate this? When, the computer can learn through from T.R. Balamani, how will this exchange happen? How will the computer pay homage every time, every note that I sing in classical music, I dedicate to my teacher. I remember her, I remember the way she used to teach. She used to not teach only music, it's not like aapne sargam sikha, you learned the first tan, second tan, palta sikha, kirtanam sikha, varnam. It's not that. She used to teach principles of music. Principles that you can learn. You learn certain principles and you apply them somewhere else altogether. There's no connection between what you learned and what you apply. Because the foundation and the principles that she used to teach was so strong, you're a very strong classical musician. So you want to do rock-on, you can do a rock-on. If you want to do a kajrare, you can do a kajrare. If you want to do a classical album like Bandish Bandits, you can do that too. Because your foundation is very strong. She doesn't teach only music, she teaches principles of music.
So what are some of those principles of music?
Well, it's very difficult to explain in words, you know. I can say that when you learn Carnatic music, rhythm is, rhythm is very strong. Our Indian classical Carnatic rhythm is immensely strong. It's almost like calculus, you know. You can actually decode every rhythmic pattern, put it down, and communicate to the other person. And some principles that she taught was travel of a note. What is a melody? You know, you imagine, I mean, all of us are talking, we are in the age of computers, so I'll just make it very simple to you in a simple example. Imagine a screen which is full of those LED, what do you call them, pixels, or with a strong resolution. And there's only one light which is on, okay? One LED. And that LED is traveling, okay? It starts from destination A and it reaches destination B. So now, give me any note now. This is the first note. LED is burning there. It has to reach the destination A, the destination B, okay? So now, there are 100 ways you can start from this destination and reach there. Straight, da 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 da. Straight on. This is one way. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. So I started from the and ended the, but feel good. So we started off from the and ended in the. What was different? Our starting destination was the same, ending destination was the same, but the journey was different. Okay? So journey is a melody. That LED, what it travels on, sarigama rema gari zani sarigama pada mada pama gari gama ni da pama gari gama da pada mada pama gari magari za ni sarigama pada ni za. I arrived at my destination, but I went through valleys and mountains sometimes. Otherwise I took a straight highway and I reached there. Otherwise I flew. I went through water. So the journey of a note, which I equate to one LED burning and moving, you know, that is a melody. So now, this melody can be mediocre. The melody can be very intense, very difficult, very interesting, very soul-touching, inspiring. This is how various melodies are created, but it is the journey that's interesting. So, how to create this journey interestingly? That comes in the principles of music. And that's what she taught me.
Oh, that's amazing. So, you know, I'm still looking at the studio of the creation of Shankar Mahadevan. So, you know, though we'll come to your popular numbers and Bollywood and all of that, but you've said the true heritage of India is really the folk music, you know, and you've created spaces now for that to also flourish. But give us again snatches of, you know, folk, which maybe is now I'm sounding very anti-AI. I'm not. You can see we use AI all the time for everything. But, you know, as algorithms begin to decide taste or what people will hear, what will come on top of Spotify and all of that, there are many of this kind of accidental discoveries that may get lost, you know. So that's why I wanted to ask you, one, to evoke for us when you say folk is the true treasure of India. Give us your most favorite folk song, maybe.
See, I truly believe that ours is a very blessed country, which has got music in every state. Forget every state. Every, 300 meters, there'll be a different dialect, a different form of music. Folk music. Folk music is music that is naturally born. जैसे हिंदी में कहते हैं ना, मिट्टी की खुशबू. It comes naturally. It's been there for thousands and thousands of years, you know. Whereas classical music, which you feel that, you know, oh, he's a classical musician, much more respected, fair enough. But classical music is something that is, you know, you've learned, you actually, there's a technical way in which you do it. There's a way in which you do riyaz and you develop classical music. Folk music is not developed, it is there. It's already there. Because folk music is there for every occasion. Child is born, there is folk music. Somebody dies, there's folk music. You know, Garbhavati ho, there's folk music. When there's harvesting, there's folk music. Bidai ke time, there's folk music. Wedding, there's folk music. Folk music is there for every occasion in our country.
So you sing in so many languages, Shankar, it's astonishing. So can you do a kind of sutra mala through our country for us? Pick little snippets of folk songs.
Okay. Okay, give me E.
And by the way, this is unplanned as well, you know.
Oh, nothing is planned here.
To better effect than
so Rajasthan. Aj kesariya balma mor padharo mare des padharo mare des. This is Rajasthan. If you see, we did a folk song in Tamil. Upgarvade uravajasore utividani bodum yanake puttamuttu nediyilla marbuk madiyilla sattuvada donadadi yanake. If you see Gujarati, give me, it's too high. Give me C. Uncha uncha re madi tara rungrane lol. And then you have this typical alap. Stuff like that. So, you know,
No, don't stop, don't stop. Don't stop. Something from Bengal, Orissa, you sing like 14, 15 languages.
I mean, folk music has been adapted so beautifully in films. You know, "Are dayare chad gayo papi bichua, kaise aag lagayo papi bichua, bichua re bichua, bichua, kaise re papi bichua." These are all folk songs, you know. The G. चलत मुसाफिर बोलिया रे पिंजरे वाली मुनिया. So much joy, you know. It's joy celebrating every occasion in life. And that can happen only and only through folk music. Classical music can't do that.
Oh gosh, that's so, you know, coming back to the journey that you went, yeah, that's...
That reminded me of this ISDN lines we used to call, you know. Hello? Haan, boliye? Your clap was like that.
Shankar, you may have...
Is that bulky there?
I want to defend the audience because you may have missed it. There was a session earlier with the robots where there was this slow transmission, you know. Wow. So this was an empathetic response कि हम भी slow हो जाए थोड़ा सा, you know. But so coming back to your musical journey, you know that you started out as an engineer. You had this almost like divine awakening at 3 and 5, but then you became an engineer. Then you became, you threw it up and became a musician, you know. So that courage, what drove that? Was there some influence? Was there an incident?
Thank God for that, actually, yeah.
I have to say this, my son has a question because they are all not mathematical. He said, is it that many artists who start out as engineers, is it the post-traumatic stress disorder of being an engineer that makes them an artist? You know?
No, actually it's not, the post-traumatic stress happens while studying for engineering. Because those books and all, no, I don't think you use any of those later. I mean, it's the practical knowledge that you actually on the project when you do. So I think they prepare you to face anything in life. You know, those big fat books that they give you. Once you read all that and once you prepare for your exams and you write all those. When I went for my engineering exams, I was busy touring with a jazz group, you know. And suddenly I landed up and went for my engineering exam. And on the paper there was this triple integration, if you all must be knowing. And I thought it's a printing mistake actually. So that was my involvement in the engineering. Anyway, so it was a difficult decision. I was working very successfully, and I was developing software on Oracle, by the way. Yeah? And that time it was Oracle 6, and I was working on SQL, DBA, and all that something. Yeah, I was doing. And but every day I used to get a call from some studio or the other. Yaar, just come and dub this, no? Just sing this alap for me. Hey, I need some help with this music track. It's a little Indian. Can you just program this groove for me? And my dear buddies, Ehsan and Lloyd, they were, you know, ace music composers already in the advertising field. They said, "Arey, chalna yaar, aana yaar." I said, "Man, I'm working over here." He said, "No, come here quickly. We'll finish it off." And so when I used to go there to the studio, leaving my, programming, the joy that I used to get, and I used to wonder, is this a life that is possible to lead where, you go into the studio in the morning and you don't even realize it's already dark by the time you come out, and the whole day you just spent creating, singing, music, so much joy, so much happiness. Is it possible? So this was playing in my mind all the time. And then to add to it, my friends like Ehsan and Lloyd, they said, "Arey yaar, forget this yaar, you are not cut out for this. You're going to be a musician, so just leave, just quit." And I said, "Man, my passports are taken and I would be in the US, some good company. I'd be developing software for some company and all that." They said, "No, this is not there." And my then, girlfriend, who's my wife now, she put this thing, icing on the cake. She said, "I really feel that there may be 1 million engineers, but I think there is going to be only one Shankar Mahadevan. So please go and do it."
Wow. So, you said that I'm sorry to bring it back to AI and we're going to run out of time.
Yeah.
But that...
Time's up. It's written over there.
Yeah, but time's up is... What's the point of being human if you can't override a monitor, So, I wanted to... Thank you. I wanted to ask you that you said you enjoyed jamming with Sandbox, the Google Sandbox. But those were AI, and yet you've been with Shakti, which is pure collaboration, pure jamming. What was the difference, Shankar? And again, I don't want to keep making you negative about AI, but...
World of a difference. World of a difference. I mean, you can't equate human interaction. For a band like Shakti, for people who don't know what Shakti is, I think for me, it's the greatest, world music band in the world. And I think that band has existed for 50 years now. We just completed 50 years. We were nominated for the Grammys also this year. We won the Grammy last year. That is the greatest set of musicians on stage. So when you're there, half of the things are happening through eye contact. I don't know next microsecond what Zakir Hussain is going to play. I don't know what Selva Ganesh is going to, what phrase he's going to come up with. We pick that phrase and we develop the phrase and we make it into a whole thing that extends for like 15 minutes. The joy, half the time we're laughing on stage, because we are surprised with what we are doing. The rhythmic complexities that happen, it happens on the spot, And one person initiates it. Everything is a trigger, one thing triggers the other. So one person starts it, the other person takes up the trigger and, improvises. Improvisation is not possible with AI, because improvisation happens with eye contact. It happens with joy. It happens with how you connect with the person, as a person, soul to soul. So these are things that can't happen. But with Sandbox was a tool. It's like, I want to multiply 738 by 576. I can do the regular method by carry on and all that, and I have a calculator here. You can just say that this is a glorified calculator that I had,
So, but Shankar, is that a fair assessment? Because there was a bit of confusion with the console, so I don't know if you noticed
I said three times glorified, that's why.
Yeah. But that film we played just before you came on stage, we were trying to evoke the power of human music, but then there was a song that's played by AI. It was entirely generated on AI.
Yeah.
What did you think of that? And the fact that, AI songs right now...
It's a great song, but it's nothing that I've never heard before. For example, if 30 years back, if you had asked AI to create a breathless, possibly AI wouldn't have been able to do that.
Yeah.
But now, there may be a reference of, see, it's based on already data samples, if I'm not mistaken. I'm very bad at this. But correct me if I'm wrong.
No, that's true.
It's based on millions and millions and millions of data samples which have happened.
Yeah,
it's not on samples which have not happened, you know. So for the thing not to happen, I mean, to create something that has not happened, I think you need human intelligence.
You know, you mentioned Breathless. There's no way you're getting off without doing Breathless. But just that last about this and the way music happens is that, you know, the argument is that you also learn from all the musical traditions that is there, you know, and that's why I was asking you, what was the data that was going into you, you know, in terms of country or folk or Carnatic or Hindustani. And then
for me, it's always been a learning process. And I still feel that I'm a student and I'll be learning till the end of my last breath. Because the minute you feel that you have learned everything, I think that's the end of you can switch over to something else, you know. So I think you have to keep on learning from, not only from, I'll give you a small example. Have you heard the song Kajrare, Kajrare? Kajrare,
we'll have to hear it now.
Yeah. So I'll tell you where the inspiration comes from. It's very weird. It's very weird. When you go to a bhajan sandhya, there is something called Nama Sankirtan. You know, Nam Sankirtan is where you just say, Jai Jai Ram Krishna Hari, Jai Jai Ram Krishna Hari, Jai Jai Ram Krishna, Bolo, Jai Jai Ram. It's very simple. You take, you sing a phrase, people repeat it. This was the inspiration for Kajrare. Kajrare, Kajrare, tere kare kare naina. Bolo, Kajrare. This is the inspiration. But you see, it's like how water leaks, you know. Water comes in from some other source, but it comes out somewhere else only. So that's how the input was from Nama Sankirtan, which I used to hear when I was a child, when I used to go to the bhajan sandhyas and hear it. But the output was, hey, why don't we use, I did not use a Nama Sankirtan, but I used the principle of a Nama Sankirtan for creating an item song in a cheap pub in, Kanpur. So that is the thing.
That's incredible. You've mentioned both these. Shankar, we're out of time. I can talk to you forever.
Time's up.
Time's kind of up. You know, do sing Kajari and then you have to play Breathless. I mean, you have to sing Breathless.
Eid and Eid. Tujhse milna purani dil. Give me the rhythm, no? Tujhse milna purani dilli mein, chhod aaye nishani dilli mein, balli mara se daribe talak. तेरी मेरी कहानी दिल्ली में ओ काली कमली वाले को याद करके तेरे काले काले नैनों की कसम खाते हैं ओ तेरे काले काले नैनों की बलाए ले लूं तेरे काले काले नैनों को दुआएं दे दूं मेरी जान उदास है होठों पे प्यास है आजा रे तेरी बातों में किमाम की खुशबू है तेरा आना भी गर्मियों की लू है ओ मेरी अंगड़ाई ना टूटे तू आजा मेरी अंगड़ाई ना टूटे तू आजा.
And of course, we have to, I mean, we don't have to end, but we have to end, so on Breathless.
You all are giving the rhythm very well. Huh? I mean, absolutely like to the click, so why don't you continue? 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. कोई जो मिला तो मुझे ऐसा लगता था जैसे मेरी सारी दुनिया में गीतों की ऋतु हर रंगों की बरखा है खुशबू की आंधी बहकी हुई सी अब सारी फिजाएं बहकी हुई सी अब सारी हवाएं खोई हुई सी अब सारी दिशाएं बदली हुई सी अब सारी अदाएं जागी उमंगे धड़क रहा है दिल सांसों में तूफान होठों पे नगमे आंखों में सपने सपनों में बीते हुए सारे वो लम्हे जब कोई आया था नजरों पे छाया था दिल में समाया कैसे मैं बताऊं तुम्हें कैसे उसे पाया था प्यारे से चेहरे पे बिखरी जो जुल्फ में तो ऐसा लगता था जैसे कोहरे के बीच एक होश में धुला हुआ फूल खिलाए जैसे बादल में एक चांद छुपाए और झांक रहा है जैसे रात के पर्दे में सवेरा है रोशन रोशन आंखों में सपनों का सागर जिसमें प्रेम सितारों की चादर जैसे झलक रही है लहरों लहरों बात करे तो जैसे मोती बरसे जैसे कहीं चांद की पायल गूंजे जैसे कहीं शीशे के जाम गिरे और चन से टूटे जैसे कोई चुपके से तार बजाए जैसे कोई चांदनी रात में गाए जैसे कोई हौले से पास बुलाए जैसे मेरी बात थी वो कैसे मुलाकात थी वो जब मैंने जाना था नजरों से कैसे पिघलते हैं दिल और आरज़ू पाती है कैसे मंजिल और कैसे उतरता है चांद ज़मीन कैसे कभी लगता है स्वर्ग करे तो बस यही उसने बताया मुझे और तुम जाए मुझे हम जो मिले हैं मैं ऐसे ही मिल गुल जो खिले उन्हें ऐसे ही खिलना था जन्मों के बंधन जन्मों के रिश्ते हैं जब हम जन्मे तो हम यूं ही मिलते कानों में मेरे जैसे शहर से खुलने लगे ख्वाब के दर्जे आंखों में खुलने लगे ख्वाब के दुनिया भी कितनी ऐसी और कितनी रंगीन थी ख्वाब की दुनिया जो कहने को थी पर कहीं भी नहीं थी ख्वाब जो टूटे मेरे आंख जो खुली मेरी होश जो आए मुझे मैंने देखा मैंने था वो जो कभी आए नजरों पे छाया था दिल में तबाह जा भी चुका है और दिल में रहा अब तन्हा ना तो कोई अरमान ना कोई तमन्ना और ना कोई सपना अब जो मेरी दिन ना जो मेरी रातें मेरे आंसू उन मेरे दर्द की रंज की बातें और पर याद मेरा अब कोई नहीं मैं हो खोए हुए प्यार की याद मैं हो खोए हुए प्यार की याद मैं हो खोए हुए प्यार की याद Thank you very much. Thank you, Shoma. Thank you. Time's up. Thank you.